Ba-da-da-da-ba-da.
Ba-da-da-ba-da.
Halo-halo-show.
Welcome to the Halo Show, everyone.
Welcome. Hi.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything and everywhere all at once.
All at once.
Di ko na maalala yung intro natin. We have been doing this for 7 years and
Yeah.
we get the intro wrong every time. So this is the Halo Show where we talk about everything and anything under the sun, but most of the time we talk about Filipino pop culture, what's happening in the Philippines, what people are talking about in our circles. We are both 30-something-year-olds. Tama
Don't
ba?
remind me.
Don't
Yeah. Remind me.
Let's not talk about it, okay? It's a sore spot. Just kidding. But yeah, and then that's basically what we talk about. We also talk about our lives in a segment called Where You Been. And in case you are new here, we don't just include ourselves in the podcast. We have our listeners on here, right?
That's right. We have got us a question. So that's where we ask you a question, you give us your answers, and then we talk about your answers. So we'll do that at the end of the mix. And then we also have so that we can all stay connected together, Leche Fans and Halo Halo Show hosts as one unit. We have our TTs, our trending topics, so that we can keep up with what's trending and we try to stick with what's going on or what's kind of popping off in the Philippines. So if you want to jump to the timestamps for whatever we're going to talk about, we're going to go there. You can go to the description, but we'll start with Where You Been. And Rica G, you're going first this week. And I see you on camera, man. We're on camera together right now.
We're on camera. We're going to try to, no, we're not going to try. We are going to upload some videos on our Instagram. And you're going to see that if you guys follow us on Instagram. So anyway, yeah, so where you been this week and last week also, because we had a scheduled recording, right? Was it 2 weeks?
Yes, we did.
Right?
Yes, we did.
So yeah, a lot of things happened. So the previous week, that was really nice. I actually went on a movie premiere. Did I tell you about that? And did you see that?
I saw it on your stories, but I
Yeah.
didn't talk about it on the podcast yet.
Okay, so I went on a movie premiere. So basically, this is actually such an interesting and unique movie premiere. So this was a documentary by a YouTuber. His name is Average Rob. And I think I've talked about Average Rob already on the podcast. So Average Rob is like the David Dobrik of Europe, but he's not a creep. He is. Sorry. No, what? Also, his focus most of the time is on sports. So like extreme sports, like he would try like
bungee jumping,
cyclocross. Yeah, like trying out different sports with Olympic athletes and like Tour de France winners and stuff like that. So ganun siya na type. So, and then he's just really just a positive person. I love his content, his messaging, and he has a small team actually. So he has like a producer, an editor, a person that is always with them. His name is Milan, and then he's always with his brother as well. His name is Arno the Kid. And they make videos together. It's about a lot of different things. It's very documentary type on YouTube. So those are like shorter videos. But since they went on kind of like an extreme marathon, it's called the Marathon des Sables. So it is a marathon for 6 days in the desert in Morocco. And you have to bring all of your supplies in your backpack, everything except for water. So the only thing that they're going to provide you in the marathon for 6 days in the desert would be water, and everything would be on your backpack. So they would set up different campsites throughout the different parts of the desert. Every day they would either run from 20 kilometers to 80 kilometers per day. So it has 6 stages. The first stage would be like 20-kilometer run. They would sleep in the desert in tents that the Marathon des Sables would, provide.
Okay, at least
they have a big team. It's like a really well organized marathon. So after sleeping, the next morning they would run 40 kilometers. One full marathon, dude. One full marathon.
For the day?
for the day, and they would have to bring
What?
everything on their backpacks. So
Huh?
at the start of the marathon, which is the first day, they would weigh their backpacks.
Yeah.
Sometimes for a lot of the experienced ones, they wouldn't bring like extra clothes anymore, so they would just they would just wear one piece of clothing the whole time.
Gross.
For I know for others, they would have to bring more. So for them, um for
Average
average
Rob.
Rob and Arno the kid, their backpacks were like 12 kilos. Imaginein mo
Bigat nun ah.
carrying 12 kilograms of, like your backpack in
Mm.
the desert. So anyway, the peak of the marathon would be the fourth day. They ran, I think, around 80 kilometers. So
In a
that's
day?
82 in a day. In a
Is that
day.
possible?
It's
82
possible. Like there's
kilometers?
such a thing as an ultra marathon. I think so. An ultra marathon is 100 kilometers. So I think the reason why this is so extreme is because it's a back to back to back to back to back to back marathon.
I'm
So
looking at the average run speed of a human long
yeah, actually,
distance.
they mostly walk the marathon to some. And what's good about it is there are a lot of people who run the marathon to sub
Okay.
where they would run for something. Like they're going through chemotherapy, or like as in, na pagdaanan nila yung cancer, whatever.
Mm.
There's like a bunch of random people who just go on the marathon to sub, and you could be the most average runner and the most like experienced one. And I believe there was a Filipino who ran the marathon this year, because I remember watching a video from another YouTuber where
Mm.
they took a video of the finish line, and there was a Philippine flag in there.
Marathon
So
this that
Marathon
seems
is
impossible.
it's not impossible, because I've seen people do
Mm.
it. And I just think that it's not impossible, but it's extremely extreme.
257 kilometers
Exactly, my
is
friend.
the
The whole
total 7
and
day trip or
I
whatever.
think essentially you would be running in a calorie deficit, because you would just
You would
be
have to because you don't
you
have enough. You can't pack enough food in
you
your
can't
backpack.
pack. No. To be fair, there were times where the marathon would like in certain rest stops, they would have food there, like nuts and dates and everything.
Mm.
But basically that's it. That's what they provide. And then water.
Wow, there's a
So
lot
yeah,
of Moroccan winners. I'm looking at the
yes.
winners, and it's mostly Moroccans.
Yeah. To be fair, kasi syempre, it's like also
Home
uh
turf.
accli- parang acclimatizing, is that the word?
Yeah.
To the desert. If you're
Mm.
coming from a country and you've lived in a country where it's always cold, then it would also be hard to kind of,
How do you
run.
avoid blisters, man?
Dude, they don't. Everybody gets blisters, and they
Yeah.
have a medic tent in the tent area, and they actually have a system on how to treat their blister. It's disgusting.
Oo nga
Honestly,
eh.
it's in the documentary. So this is what's unique about the documentary of Average Rob. So with this one, what they did was they created a whole documentary about their experience in the Marathon des Sables. They went to different countries here in Europe to show it in cinemas, and actually, like portray, like put it up in cinemas and not just on YouTube,
Yeah.
because they want to show the world that they're not just there to make videos on YouTube, and they're serious filmmakers, which honestly is like it was such a good idea to do, and it was worth it. It was a 2 hour documentary. It was worth it for me.
Mm.
And then
But it's on YouTube then. Like
yeah,
it's
so
on
after the
YouTube
whole
now.
trip, after the whole what do you call that?
Tour.
Like
Tour.
tour,
Mm.
they put the documentary on YouTube. So it's there now.
Ooh.
After 6 days, it has 1.1 million views already.
Views.
Um,
Damn.
and I think it's such a worthwhile watch. Another documentary about the Marathon des Sables that's also worthwhile and very informative is this video from wait
So
I
the
think it,
average Rob one is called "How I Survived the Toughest Foot Race on Earth."
yes.
Okay. Oh
So
yeah,
that
2 hours,
is
6 minutes.
that's like the what do you call this? That's like the tagline of the Marathon des Sables. It's the toughest foot race on earth. And then another documentary that I think, another video that I think is so worthwhile to watch is Kara and Nate on YouTube. So the title of the video is Six Marathons in 6 Days in the Sahara Desert, Marathon des Sables. It's so interesting because with this one, Nate, the husband, ran the marathon, and Kate was part of the media team of the Marathon des Sables. So she got to kind of like um
Drive.
drive, no, yeah, basically she got to like drive around while people
Yeah.
were running, but she was also very informative on how they, like go to the
Train and
toilet,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
or like how they set up the tents and everything. It wasn't just about Nate's experience, it was also about the marathon itself.
The
So
organizers,
the organizer. So it's a French,
media
I believe it's a French company that organizes this marathon. So
race.
anyway, that was such a good experience. And I got to see Average Rob and his team in person, and we even got to say hi.
Nice.
We were literally right beside them when we first entered the cinema. And then I said hi. I said, at first, actually, I told myself I'm not going to say hi because I'm not allowed to say hi to any celebrities because I say stupid shit. I say stupid shit. And I vowed to myself that I will not say hello to any of like any celebrity out there because I don't want to embarrass myself. But when I saw them, they looked like they were just, they were just there to have a good time. So
Mm.
we just said, "Hiya, we're gonna watch your documentary. We can't wait." And they said, "Oh, thanks so much." And then they went about their day, and it was
Mm.
cool. So
Nice.
yeah, it
I'm
was
sure
really
maraming
nice.
Leche fans then that are fans of Average Rob. I think
Oh
there's
gosh,
some people who
Average
recommend it.
Rob is so cool. All of his content, I think, is like very aligned with what I also like to watch because it's not just like stupid shit. Obviously, there's stupid shit that they put in there,
Yeah.
but it's also like it has a message about resilience and trying out different things. It's so good.
I
So
watched
I
a few of
recommend
his
that one.
videos actually. Now that I
Yeah,
think back on it, I forgot which ones though. Was
the
that I
Iron
watched him
Man.
a few years ago. I think the Iron Man one. Then did he do a rock climbing one
Uh, I
or
don't remember.
basta? I
Maybe.
remember watching yung mga extreme stuff that he did. There's one where
Yeah.
he, what do you call it? He rode in like a pumpkin or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I feel
I'm
like
not
that was him. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm not
average
sure, but
Rob.
yeah. Average
Mm.
Rob on YouTube. So good. Totally recommend. Um and then this week actually we went on a fishing trip. So,
Oh,
yeah. So we went to Dorset. So that's like a seaside town here in the UK. And honestly, at first, please don't come for me. I did not know. Okay, I did not know. So at first, so we packed our camping gear and everything. And then when we got there, it says on the beach, there's no camping. It says
okay.
camping is not allowed. So my as an anxious person, super na anxious na ako na parang, oh my gosh, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to pay a fine, blah, blah, blah. And
Mm.
apparently, the sign that says no camping has been there since the beginning of time, but loads of people camp there. Like it's a known
Ah,
secret. You know what I mean?
okay.
But and then I searched online, are they policing this? Like are actual police going in
Mm.
there? And apparently hindi. It's just kind of like a regulation or ano man tawag mo sa ganun? It's kind of like a
Unwritten rule? Parang
parang
ganun
ganun
na.
siya. But yeah, it's like it just says there no camping allowed. So at first I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so anxious. People
Mm.
were looking at us, but apparently it's like everybody camped there. Like they camped there.
Nagka-camp
And
talaga dun, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just thinking, okay, that was like for no reason that I was anxious. But anyway,
Mm.
um, what was really nice about that camping trip was, um, we got there at the right time where the mackerel was like near the shore.
The low tide or whatever, basta the
Yes.
tide was right?
So
Okay.
we got a bunch. Well, not me, because I was just there for moral support. and to set up the camp and everything. And then in total, I think we got like around 20 mackerels, which was
You
good.
you know
Um,
how to, I mean, is it, who's the fisher person between you two?
um,
Sino mas magaling fish?
See
Si Ryan.
Ryan. So Ryan caught 3 fishies.
Okay.
I caught 0. Kasi
Nice.
whenever I would
Galing.
cast, dude, whenever I would cast, I would hear the hook, like the
Uh,
end, hit the floor in front of me. Tapos I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, that was just like, it was really fun. We got to spend time with his coworkers. His coworker
okay.
actually has a van that is decked out. My microwave, there's like a sink. They have
Mm.
like a whole cupboard of food, and then my bed and everything else. But obviously, because we wanted to camp, we just went on our tent. So
Mm.
that was all cool. It was a 2-hour drive from where we live, and I think that was like one of the highlights of the week, because the rest of the week it was just me at home, you know, applying for jobs,
Applying
chilling.
for jobs,
To be fair, I
trying to
do have
survive.
trying to survive. I do have an update, and this is a first for me. I went to different establishments and I asked, "Hey, are you guys hiring?"
Oh, nice. You
Which
asked
was a
for
first.
ano,
Yeah, it was a first
resume
for me. And
or
apparently, because
mm.
my friend who works in the restaurant industry, she's actually a manager already. So medyo managerial na siya. Um, Told me that it's common for people, especially here in the UK, for people to ask if you guys are hiring.
Ganun din sa
So
US
yeah,
actually. Yeah. When I
which
worked in the
which
States.
honestly is like something that I have never experienced, because I think coming from a place of privilege in the Philippines, kasi 'di ba parang,
Mm.
well, in what I studied in the industry that I'm in, never ko naisip to go into the restaurant industry. But
Mm.
it's an honest, you make an honest living out of it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a good industry anyway, and people, like learn a lot from it. So I'm thinking, why should I restrict myself into just doing, these types of jobs? So anyway,
Yeah.
that was just like side quest. Side quest lang talaga siya.
Nice.
Natatawa nga ako
For
kanina.
the plot, like you
Yeah,
said.
it's like for the plot. And then that same friend, it's actually a friend that I'm making a podcast with. So we're making a
Ooh.
narrative podcast about Filipinos who grew up here in the UK, telling their stories and everything else. So
Galing.
I've edited like maybe 70% of the first episode. It's
Okay.
different. It's a different podcast, like compared to what we do, because this is
Right,
more of like a
right.
talk show podcast.
Mm.
But yeah, with that one, there's like a recording time and everything. And I'm excited to like launch it, but I'm going to tell you more about it when
Nice.
it's done. But apart from that, I know that I did watch something new this week, but I totally forgot. Oh, I started the docu series on Netflix, the Gabriel Fernandez story.
Yeah,
So
I tried to watch that also. Parang I watched
it,
most of the, di ba ilang episodes ba yun? 3?
yeah, it's
Parang
like a
ganun.
limited series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched the first one. And then
it's very
parang,
heavy. Heavy. It's
yeah, I
very
think I
heavy.
Wikipedia'd the rest kasi sabi ko bigat
Yeah.
nito eh. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the way that they show the body of the
Mm.
kid,
Mm.
and it's in California. Is it somewhere like
I
near
forgot
where
where,
you used to?
let me look it
I
up.
don't
I
know.
don't think so because I think it would have been bigger news if it was near San Diego. Let me see. Gabriel. Anyway, did you finish it or you just
I'm
started
on
it?
the third episode already, so I'm almost done. I actually
Mm.
know a lot about the case because of TikTok, and also I read some articles about the Gabriel
Mm.
Fernandez story. We're not gonna say the whole story here, but it is very heavy. It's a child
Mm.
abuse case. There's murder and torture in it, and the saddest thing about it is a lot of people knew about the abuse. So basically, the whole message of the story is that the adults failed him.
Yeah.
People knew about it. And I think
It's
that's what's really so heartbreaking about it.
it's kind of, I mean, it's not the same thing, but do you ever read the book yung a,
A child
a
called it.
child called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
That
that
was,
was gnarly when I read that.
yeah.
I couldn't really believe that
It was
that
it was a
it
true
was
story.
real.
It was
Yeah.
real.
Parang ano nga ginawa, basta,
There was this one I could never ever forget. One part of the book. Okay, spoiler alert, guys. If you
yeah.
want to read A Child Called It, pause now and skip to like after 5 minutes. Okay. So
Okay.
basically, one of the things that I could never ever forget was he stole from a butcher. If I'm not mistaken, he
Uh,
ate the meat, and then obviously nasuka siya,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then his parents caught him steal,
Mm.
and then pinakain sa kanya yung suka niya.
Yep, I remember that.
You remember that?
I
I was just like,
remember.
what the? I remember I was so obsessed with that book that I was reading it in class in grade school.
Grade school.
Yeah, I was reading it in
Totoo
grade
ba?
school. Yeah, I
Wow.
was
I
reading
read
it
it
like
in
grade
high
like
school,
sixth
I
grade
think.
maybe.
Okay.
I was so obsessed with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that was
insane.
crazy. That was crazy.
But anyway, I wanted to end it there and fan.
Finn, dude, I've been working a lot. If you hear my voice, it's hoarse again.
Quack,
Dude, my
quack,
voice
quack, quack,
has
quack.
not been getting better. I need to take better care of it. I don't really know, man. Like, I feel
Alam
like
mo
I've
kung
shared
ano
before.
dapat dyan?
Ano yun?
Kamilosan.
Dude,
Kaya
I try.
mag-kamilosan ka na.
Dude, meron akong Kamilosan. Yun yung ginagamit ko eh. Kamilosan. Tapos minsan may, ano nga yun? Hindi Lola Nenas. Ano yun? Lola Remedios.
May donut. Ang sakit ng lalamunan ko. Mag-donut nga ako.
Ang sarap ng peachy-peachy ng Lola Nenas, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, peachy peachy.
Lola Remedios, ano, Pay Pakwa.
Pipakwa.
Yeah. Dude, I've been, iniikot lang, walang yung tatlo na yun eh. Tapos meron pa isa yung Deflam. I've been
Yeah,
trying
the
like
flam.
all the stuff, man, and
Mm-mm.
it gets better for a bit. But admittedly, I think it's also because I don't really take care of my voice as much as I should. So I should be drinking warm water. And hindi ako marunong I said it before, hindi ako marunong mag-modulate or not modulate, but yung ihahatak mo yung boses mo from
From your
your diaphragm.
diaphragm.
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that. I
Why?
cannot do it. Kasi it's like I'm
Isn't it
throat.
already?
No, kasi, well, I'm sure there's a little bit of it, but I'm what they call, yung parang, may
Throaty.
mga singers that sing from their throat. I
Mm.
don't know if you've heard that kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, she sings from her throat or he sings from his throat.
Mm-mm.
I feel like I host from my throat rather than from
Parang
my
pag sinasabi
diaphragm.
nila na, this is my throat, believe me, this is
Yeah.
the throat.
Yeah.
Okay, di mo gets. Sana natawa kayo sa joke ko, guys.
Okay. Uh, so I started the month hosting for, believe it or not, the Department of Agriculture.
Really? What did you?
Yeah,
What was
it
the
was like
event?
it's a yearly symposium of sorts. The name of the group is LEMCAP, which
Okay.
is I gotta look it up because it stands for the League of Municipal Agriculture Officers, Municipal and City Agricultures of the Philippines. So it's very wordy. And
Okay.
sa totoo, like moderator lang ako in a sense. Dude, wala ako naintindihan. As in, out of
What was
all
it
the,
about, though?
dude, like one of the, like, so that the day that I worked, there were 4 presentations, and some of the presentations were long. Like one presentation was like an hour, dude. And medyo Tagalog heavy. Kasi, I mean, most of the people, the attendees are, first language is Filipino or Tagalog. So, nandun yung mga ibang na mga farmers, magsasaka, LGU representatives and whatever. Dude, there was one where they talked about like the sustainability of like rice or something.
Okay.
Dude, wala
I,
akong maintindihan at
but do you
all.
think that's important,
It
though?
is important. It is important. I'm just saying, like, I did not
Yeah,
understand
gets.
because sobrang
Gets.
out of everything that I've ever hosted, ito yung pinaka technical
Yeah.
and add on top of that, Filipino na technical. So,
Yeah.
mas lalo ako nahirapan na ano. So, after the talk, normally you're supposed to give your insights. Dude, I picked the most generic na ano eh.
Parang,
Sabi ko,
that's so great, guys.
that's great for, man, that's great for the future of rice. Di ba? Para sa para sa
Alam mo
magandang
ba,
magandang buhay dito sa
I
Pilipinas.
remember
Mm.
I remember I attended one like talk or
Oh
conference
nga, I
back
remember
when
you
I was
talked
in
about it
UPLB.
before. Oh nga.
Yeah, back when I was in UPLB, I attended a talk about it. And then obviously like during the talk, I was writing down stuff. Tas parang
Mm.
kasi I needed to make a paper about it or an
Mm.
article. Tas parang fuck, wala akong maintindihan. So I went to the coffee shop right next to the conference center. Tas there was this guy there na parang who was a scientist basically. Tas
Mm.
nagsusulat ako ng mga notes ko. Tas sabi niya, naintindihan mo ba yan? As in, literally, diniretso niya ako. Sabi niya
Mm.
parang, naintindihan mo ba yun? Tas sabi ko, actually, hindi. And then,
Mm.
he kindly explained things to me, which
That's
was like,
nice.
yeah, that was really nice. Tapos parang
Yeah.
ako, thank you.
That's
Literally, wala akong
nice.
naintindihan. It was so,
Really,
yeah,
it was very it was very difficult in
yeah,
terms of trying to understand it. But you could see na medyo locked in yung mga tao. I mean, and so it really is a I feel like an underappreciated profession.
oh,
Not
for
profession but
sure.
like industry here.
For sure.
Kasi sobrang hirap ng ginagawa ng mga farmers and
Yeah.
like agriculturists in the Philippines. So that was one of the that started off the month. And of course, my bread and butter cyber zone, SM Cyber Zone.
Yeah.
Shout
Akala ko
out! Thank you
ano,
for paying my bills.
akala ko cars, car
Cars.
events.
I shout out to MG. And then I took a little side trip to Pampanga. Ate at a great restaurant, which I've been to. Is my second time there. Just if you haven't been to in San Fernando, it's called Souk. Souq. Souk
Okay.
Pampanga. So if you're ever going north from Metro Manila and you're passing by um, San Fernando, Pampanga, go check out Souk Pampanga. Great food, great ambiance. And then I came back and I had work again, dude. I got to work with Disney Philippines,
Oh,
and
wow.
yes, it was my first time, and I got to host the Philippine premiere of the new Pixar and Disney Studios movie Elio. If you've seen the trailer, it's about
Mm-hmm.
this kid that gets abducted from by aliens. I can't talk about the review yet because it hasn't officially dropped, but initial reactions I can share, and it was good. It was a great movie. I think it's on par with with Pixar's like good films,
Okay.
and it's heartfelt. It's about feeling because the premise is he see Elio doesn't feel like he belongs on Earth. He
Okay.
feels like he needs to find his people or his tribe, but
Oh,
it's
that's so
not on
nice. Okay.
Earth. So he asked to be abducted by aliens, and of course it happens, and some shenanigans happen. Maganda siya. So if you catch
Okay.
it, it's on June. I don't know when we're releasing this podcast, but maybe it's already out by the time. So June 18, it's out. I would recommend that. And then I had a shoot the next day, like an explainer video shoot. And have you ever worked on a like a video shoot na may teleprompter?
Yeah.
Dude, that is like
It's
the
the most jarring
oh
thing
my god.
ever.
But it's the best thing in the world. Like
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I cannot tell you how many times I've worked yung mga shoots na yun na may mga spiels. And minsan sobrang thick not thick, sobrang haba ng spiel that you have to
Mhm.
memorize.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so hard. So, oh my God, I was so thankful. Kasi feel ko kung walang prompter kahapon, because I did it yesterday, it would have taken 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
It ended up only taking 2 and a half. So that was another thing. And then today, after right before recording this podcast, and that's why my throaty voice is throaty.
Excuse me.
I hosted another fan meet for. So I've shared on the podcast before. Uh, CDM Entertainment always seems to tap me when there's a fan meet of artists from Thailand, sometimes from Korea, but most of the time it's Thai artists. And I got to host the fan meet for an artist called Faye, spelled like Faye, but it's pronounced Faye, who had her solo fan meet here in Manila. And grabe puno. Dude, it's always full though, yung mga fan meets na yun. And I did not know, I learned today, kasi tinanong ko yung mga CDM team, like, what's going on with you guys? So, pupunta sila sa Latin America, like this month or next month or something like that. Kasi sobrang laki daw ng Thai series in Mexico and
Really?
Brazil. Yeah.
Wow.
As in, like it's so
That's rogue.
yeah, kaya napansin ko ngayon, daming mga Spanish comments sa
Yeah.
mga YouTube videos nila. So may market pala yung Thai shows. I that blew my mind. Like Mexico, imagine.
I
How's
would think na parang kasi with how like the stories of Thai ano ba
Thai
tawag mo sa
shows?
ganun? Thai
Yung mga
shows.
GL and BL
Yes, na
shows.
parang
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very sorry, my phone is just there. I feel like because it's like very love heavy. Eh di ba ganun yung mga parang teleserye,
Telenovela.
telenovela,
Oh,
'di
nga, makes
ba?
sense. And we're
So
not
it
that
kind of makes
far
sense.
in terms of Pinoys and Mexicans. Parang medyo similar yung at least how I experienced it when I was in San Diego. Di ba dami mga Mexicans dun?
Yeah, thanks
Very
to our
similar.
colonizers.
Oh, very
We're the same.
similar. Oh nga.
Weren't
Thanks,
they
ano?
colonized by Spain also?
I
They
get. I
were.
don't. I think so.
Yes, almost the same. That's why they also have the peso. 'Di ba?
Mm.
So
But they
para
speak.
silang
But and yung Spanish nila,
it's different.
it's
Apparently
different.
it's different.
But
Yeah.
understandable daw.
Yeah.
So that
You
is
know
my
what?
what.
You know what I actually was so obsessed. I'm not going to speak about it in length, but
Okay.
I'm so because we're also already speaking about Mexico anyway. I
Okay.
have been trying to understand what's happening in Los Angeles,
Yung
California.
ice.
Yeah, that a lot of people are getting detained.
Mm.
Um, and what I'm trying to understand because I've never lived there and I've never actually like never pa ako nakasalamuhan ng mga tao from there. Is it because a lot of people like is it an easy place to like immigrate to without papers or like
Well, kasi
is it because it's
the
near the border or
border,
what?
di ba? Yeah, the
Okay.
border of Mexico, marami, it's so, sobrang lawak nga. It's so
Yeah.
hard to, kumbaga, police it because
Control. Yeah.
it's so wide and there are multiple ways to get from, let's just say, to get from Mexico to cross the border. I mean, it's not easy, but I'm just saying it's possible. So that's why there's so many illegal aliens that are residing in the United States. And of course, once they get into California or like let's say Texas or something down the line, they're that's where they try to find jobs. And usually
Yeah.
not jobs that are under the table.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. And now the yung ICE they're detaining yung mga illegal aliens. But I think
Right.
the issue that I've seen from some of my yung mga kakilala ko sa States is that there are
Okay.
people who are there legitimately who have the
Like
right
visas and stuff.
paperwork and everything, but nadidetain pa sila and then they're like held for like a long time. There
But
was one nga na parang Pinoy traveler who
uh-huh.
got back from,
Traveler.
yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'd have to
What?
confirm it. So don't take my
That's
word for it. A
insane.
Pinoy traveler who left the US just to travel and came back, but I think she had the right paperwork, but she was
Yeah.
detained for months, if I'm not
What the
mistaken.
hell?
I know.
That's
So,
scary.
in short, like they detain, sometimes they can detain US citizens also if
Yeah.
there's like some sort of like, I don't want to say
Discrepancy.
valid reason, but if it's hard to, like it's like if they
I know
are
actually that's what I wanted to talk
mm,
about it because there's so many differing like information about it. Para siyang like feeling ko intentionally ginugulo nila yung public about what they're actually doing, what their goal is,
yeah,
and like who are like how do they actually know if somebody is, you know, illegally
illegal or not.
there. Kasi
Mm.
parang there are like syempre may mga articles where they would insinuate that they're just picking people off the street if they look a
Yeah,
certain way.
like they're supposed to be getting undocumented people, but it seems like the what's happening is they're getting detained without checking the documents. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're just being shipped out without any I don't know if it due
Due
process is the
process.
right
Yeah.
term, but imagine because of the way you look or maybe the way that you talk, they could just ship you out even if you have let's say a green card or if you have citizenship. So and that's what people are protesting about. That's my basic understanding. I'm sure it runs a lot
Deep. Yeah.
deeper than that.
I
But
know.
I've seen some stories from people, like even people I went to high school with, like this one guy. His name is Kyle Murphy. This white guy I know, and he had a friend, our coworker, that had all the legit paperwork, and he posted like a parang status update on Facebook na bigla lang daw siya kinuha and he, they shipped him out. He had all the right paperwork, so you know
What? Ship them out where?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Deported. Baka back to wherever they
Which is
originally
so
came from.
scary because if let's say you have never lived, let's say yun yung ethnic, like yung origin mo, let's say, di ba?
Mm,
Filipino ka, yes, but you were born and raised in the States. And then
mm,
imagine if you are shipped to the Philippines where you don't know anybody there, you have never
mm.
lived there in your life, and then suddenly you have to go back there, which is like so scary. And I think that's what a lot of people face as well.
Yeah,
Diba?
and also, diba, si President Trump, from what I have seen and read, is yung at least yung gusto nga is tanggalin yung naturalized citizenship. Yung mga
Okay.
tao
Hindi
na
dun,
that were born in the US but their parents aren't. Like they're citizens because they were born there, not because they're yung lahi nila
right.
is whatever.
But
And that would
isn't that
mean that
the
would be
point?
me. I mean, technically that would be
Yeah,
me. So technically, if if it does happen, I could have my U.S. citizenship revoked or
revoke.
removed or whatever.
Which
I
I'm
mean, I
so
don't know how much of
confused
a big
about.
deal it is for me, but to a lot of people, for sure, it would mean a lot.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
kasi
for
ako, wala
sure.
naman akong balak, wala namang
Bumalik.
balak bumalik if
Tumira.
ever. It would suck though, kasi ang ganda ng passport ko.
Yeah. Yun lang yung
But,
benefit mo kasi
yun lang
walang,
talaga,
walang
yun lang
pila
talaga.
guys sa immigration,
Oo,
ganon.
totoo,
No, but
totoo.
which is so weird to me. I'm just thinking out loud here, and
Mm,
I'm not saying any facts, but it's more
mm.
of like I'm seeking like more information about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the point of like living in a country and like when you're born there, you're born there.
Mm.
Like you can be born in another country and looking the different way. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
confused ako kasi hindi ba. Yeah, I'm so confused.
Well, I mean that, and I guess that is the cause for
The protests.
the protest because yun
Yeah.
nga, nobody really can. There's no clear ano methodology of how IC or ISIS is conducting yung mga yung mga
Yeah.
what do you call it, arrests or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's no parang it seems like there's no rhyme or reason or strategy
Hmm.
other than they look suspicious and then we'll
Damn,
ask
that's
questions
scary.
later. Yeah.
And
Diba?
I think one of the reasons why I'm so into this whole issue in the United
Mm.
States because I mean, immigrant ako. I'm an immigrant
Mm.
here in the UK, right?
Mm.
And I know that, there's like a huge connection when it comes to the United States and how they're influenced, that the UK is influenced by what's happening in the United States and everything.
Mm.
Kumbaga, hindi ko masasabi na parang it's the same, but I just feel like it's some of the things that I want to know about and I should be aware about as an immigrant in a
Mm.
Western country.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the reason why I was so into it. But
Mm.
anyway, that's just a tangent.
A very long tangent. What was the
Yeah,
where would he come from?
because you
Okay,
mentioned Mexico.
that's right. Okay, so last thing I forgot.
Okay.
This is the thing. The big news I was gonna tell you. So the big
Okay.
news I was gonna tell. So just for a little context, I told Rika I had some big news, but I said I'd save it here so we can get an initial reaction.
Okay.
I am moving out of my condo.
I guessed that in my
Did
head.
you? Why?
That was
How did you
one of
guess
my.
that?
I don't know, but I just kind of
Talaga?
like naisip ko lang kasi I asked you at the start, are you getting
Uh,
married? Or
uh-huh.
something.
Sabi ko
Sabi
no.
ko.
Sabi ko no. What else
So
could it be?
that's
Ah?
because yun agad yung naisip ko because like one of the biggest things that in your
Process of
life.
elimination. Sa bagay,
Oh,
I guess. I mean, there's only a few things that you could, knock off the
wait.
list. But
So
yeah,
where are you moving? I mean, like not the
uh,
actual
you want the
address,
address?
but like
No, I'm
what?
staying within the Pasig area. It's
Okay.
a bigger place. It's
Oh
a two
wow.
bedroom with a garage
A
and
garage?
yeah,
You
like
mean
a
a
personal.
house?
It's like a ano para siyang townhouse.
Down it's a house.
Well, I guess so.
What?
But townhouse siya. Gets mo? Like hindi siya house na you know what I mean, like
It,
standalone and then
but
kasi may
still.
mga tabi-tabi ako, di ba?
But still you have a
So
garage, you have a garden?
no garden.
Okay.
It's not.
All right.
It's still like condo-ish levels where
Gets ko na yung
I
sinasabi
mean,
mo.
my community pool, mga ganun, which I would
Oh
never use. You know what I
wow.
mean?
Look at
Because
you. A full on adult,
dude,
guys.
it's really I've been. I mean, I'll share more as the weeks go by because I'm slowly. I can actually move stuff in now, but my actual lease starts in August, like the actual like whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
But just a little bit of backstory. So I moved to the Philippines in 2015, but I moved to Metro Manila here in this condo that I bought 2016. So I've been here for 9 years.
Wow.
And it is like, dude, medyo na overwhelm ako because I know that it's like a good move for me, but to move away from a place that you are so familiar with, that
Yeah.
feels like home, that feels like, you know, you feel safe. I feel safe here. I've always felt
Yeah.
safe here and I'm comfortable and the location is beautiful. And I grew up, I spent a lot of my life here. It's still my, and I guess I mean, it would be a lot more difficult if I was just renting this place. So it's still my place. I'm trying to find, oh, by the way, Leche fans, if you want to find a place to rent in Ortigas, you send me a message. Because naghanap ako ng mag-uupa for for at least a year, see how this works out. But yeah, I'll update you all on the move throughout the weeks, but I am excited and
Wow, good
scared
luck,
and
man. And
diba?
congratulations. I mean,
Dude.
moving is always an overwhelming
Totoo.
experience, but it will,
Dami ko pang
yeah.
gagawin eh. Kailangan ko linisin yung condo ko. Kailangan ko paayusin yung mga whatever shit is broken here. I
But
have to find
honestly,
a
I think
tenant.
it's such a fulfilling, tiring thing to do. At the end of
Uh,
it, hindi ka
mm,
talo. At the end of it,
true.
feeling ko hindi ka talo. So,
True. It really feels
uh,
like my first adult move in a long
yeah,
time. I mean, I know I'm an adult and I know I do things all the time, but this really feels like a significant, you know how you can measure your life in terms of significant moments sometimes, like
yeah.
whether it's a job or a relationship or something. Like this feels like my first adult adulting thing that I've done that really means something.
Wait, so
You know what
how
I mean?
did you get to that point where you thought to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna get a bigger place. Like
Okay, so here's the thing.
how what?
My dad has been living like he's like a nomad, so he goes um around, bounces around. So he was renting this place that I'm going to move into.
Okay.
So I'm picking up the lease. Parang ako magsasalo, if that
Okay.
makes sense. And it's a great place, and I don't know. I guess the times that I did visit there, I was like, man, this is nice. And then I could imagine myself living here. And I've always been okay. Okay na nga ako sa studio condo eh. But it feels like, it's like, man, this is like the perfect size. Like this could be a
Mhm.
place that I could live in for a long time. So when the opportunity arose, I said, why not? Just
Yeah.
like you do it for the plot, man. And
Do
feel
it
ko,
for the
ano
plot.
legit. So
I
I'll update
agree.
the Legend fans. I'll update you too, Rica G, what happens in the next few weeks. But yeah, that's my big news. And
Oh wow.
yeah, Finn for me, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
What pal? Let's go on to our first TT. You will be the first one
Okay.
to do the TT. But before the TT, we do something called GG before
G
TT,
G
guessing game.
G
G G
G G
G
G G
G G
G
G
G
G
G
G
G.
G.
Okay. This one, I'll give you just some what do you call it? Like some hot, not hot. We're not hot word keywords.
Okay.
Maybe you can guess.
That's the whole point of the GG.
I guess so.
Keywords. Feeling mo inimbento mo siya ngayon
No, no.
lang. Feeling mo, oh my gosh, great idea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Netflix, Disney Plus. I'm trying to think.
Or the
Crunchyroll,
subscriptions getting
Amazon.
higher.
I mean, that's also true, but that's not what the TT is.
Okay, more. Go.
And without saying the word, what can I say?
Are they making it into one app? What?
No, 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 no. Okay. I will say I didn't know my isip.
Okay, question. Is it
Oh,
controversial?
it is. It is.
Okay.
And
So,
it
hindi lang tumaas
involves
yung price.
Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. Uh
Um, oh,
and I guess here's a word, freedom. There we go.
freedom.
Yeah, freedom.
Are they going to limit the number of times you're going to play something?
No, but their limit is like I guess a word that you could also involve in this thing. Any final guess? I know it's not very clear. I don't know if I
Okay, they're limiting something.
yeah, could
They're
be potentially limiting something.
they're limiting. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Like
say it.
what?
So, if you missed the news earlier in this month, the Senate has okayed a bill allowing the MTRCB to regulate online streaming platforms. Now,
Okay.
it sounds like when you hear it, like, well, okay, sounds all right. I get it. MTRCB, they regulate whatever. But there has been a lot of backlash behind this.
Mm,
The reason being is because in essence, if this bill passes, the MTRCB will be able to regulate stuff from international, like things that are
yeah,
shown on Netflix. Like imagine watching Squid Games, but you cannot. They'll take out all the death scenes, for example, if
right.
the MTRCB deems that it is not um, good for the audiences here in the Philippines. So there has been some pushback, specifically from people that just want unregulated. Well, not necessarily unregulated, but they don't want more censorship on what already I'm sure has been on content that has already kind of gone through the vetting process in whatever country it originated from. So, for example, there's the Directors Guild of the Philippines, aka DGPI, the Filipino Screenwriters Guild, and there is also a thing called Actor PH that
Okay.
is complaining that the Senate bill will be a form of censorship. So, according to the DGPI, quote, verbatim in a quote, in its declaration of policy, the proposed law deletes the current law's intentions for self regulation of the film and TV industries and converts the MTRCB into a parens patriae, which I think is Latin for parent of the country,
Okay.
concentrating instead on its self anointed role as a guardian of public morals. So that's the thing, the public morals, like who deems content moral or fit to be consumed morally. And
Yeah.
MTRCB would have that power. So there's been a lot
Mm-mm.
of pushback. I don't know how you feel about that, Rika G, and I don't know also how much they would change if ever. But
Yeah.
there's been cases of censorship in films in the Philippines over the history. Like if you go into, I'm not gonna go into it, but I kind of did a deep dive into censorship here in the Philippines, and it can happen. I mean, I know this is an extreme comparison, but for example, in North Korea, they don't show shit over there that isn't approved
Yeah.
by North Korea. So
Yeah.
I don't think it will ever get that extreme here. And
Mm.
the Filipinos are, we're pretty good at finding workarounds
Yeah.
to bypassing so mga VPNs, mga special agent John specials, But it's just the fact that there is a fear of the MTRCB being the ones that say this is the content that you can consume
Mhm.
and you have to listen to us. What are your thoughts on just that in general?
I think I think it sets like a dangerous precedent. Is that the word?
I think so.
I think it sets a dangerous precedent if that would be allowed,
Mm.
especially in. It's so weird because Netflix. First of all, it's such a new concept. I know they've been here for years, but essentially it's still a new concept. Like, how do you even? Yeah, that's true. The question is, how do you regulate? But then
Mm.
again, MTRCB, I feel like if they do want to regulate, maybe it's more of to guide the public on what to watch and what not to watch, and not actually bar what can be shown.
Okay.
Because, di ba, parang feeling ko lang, if you create something, you should have the freedom
Yeah,
to
actually,
put it
on
out
that
there.
note, here's what. So I mentioned Actor PH, which is the League of Filipino Actors. Here's the quote that they said. So we believe in a. Sorry, any legislation that impacts freedom of expression,
Exactly.
artistic integrity, and livelihood. And then we believe in a self regulating industry where accountability is upheld from within and reforms are made in genuine partnership with the
Mhm.
community. So that is what
Mhm.
they're saying. That's why they're against the MTRCB. But I was also looking into yung mga the history of the MTRCB. Ano ba yung purpose nila? And there's a
Mhm.
lot of people also say, at least on the side of less censorship and whatnot, that the MTRCB is actually very outdated. And there's even like a hashtag like abolish the MTRCB.
I kind
So
of agree with that
it
because
was
it
interesting,
also
yeah.
shows, sorry to cut you off, but I feel
Mm,
like it also shows how they're outdated so much because of the type of films that are out there in the Philippine mainstream media. You know what I mean? Yung parang
mm,
feeling ko very um hindi multifaceted yung lumalabas na mga movies from Filipino filmmakers. You know
films,
what I
right?
mean? In the mainstream media. Kasi obviously, like, there are
Mm,
Filipino filmmakers who are, kunwari, not backed by a big, production company or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm sure they can create whatever they want. But obviously, those films, or those videos or films that are backed by these huge companies that syempre would have like big like revenue power. They would make so much money out of it. Parang medyo
Mm.
parehas yung lumalabas. Don't you agree? In the
Yeah, I
past like
mean, in the
5-10
past,
years. Oh.
yeah, that's why I feel like at least in recent years, it seems like there's been a shift towards branching out from what we're used to.
Mhm.
But yun nga, because maybe the MTR, I don't know. I feel like the MTRCB
Alam mo,
can still be the one to rein it in if they chose to, right?
yeah.
Depending on how power tripping they would be.
Kasi
But
feeling
yeah, I
ko,
get what
aren't
you're
you
coming
supposed to
from.
be there just to like guide the public that, hey, if you choose to watch this, there will be violence and blah blah
Yun
blah
nga,
and
but the
sex and blah
thing
blah
is
blah.
they
But
do they cut stuff out regardless. So why even have that rating system if you're going to censor it just because you feel like this is the moral code that this film should
yeah,
abide by?
yeah,
I mean, I don't know like what cuz how you remember when we talked about fucked up movies that we
yeah.
watched? Like I think a Serbian film did you watch that also?
Yes,
Yeah, right? So Serbian film, that movie is
we talked about it.
fucking
No,
weird.
that's a no no. Just don't.
It's a
Just
fucking
I
crazy movie. I've
I feel
seen
like
it.
if you watch it in this day and age, you'd get
Yeah.
arrested. I feel like,
That
'di ba?
movie is so crazy.
No, just
But the
don't
thing is,
even.
okay, so here's the thing though. Obviously that shit would not fly with the
Yeah.
MTRCB. And I think a lot of people would agree with the MTRCB in that case. So where do we draw the line is what I'm saying. Like so at what point is what kind of scenes or what kind of agendas or what kind of scripts or whatever do we say like okay that's pretty fucked up MTRCB is right versus bakit nila sinensor yun like
Mhm.
it's tame and, at what point where is that and that I feel like is the hardest thing to you know
Regulate.
regulate in general.
Honestly, I also think that this will not fly because the internet is such a big, complex thing
Mm,
that cannot be regulated by one organization or
Mm.
body, regulating body. 'Di ba?
Mm.
It's
Mm.
too out there. 'Di ba? Because even if, yes, they do regulate in the Philippines, Netflix is still out there with all of those movies. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Parang,
Mm.
then this is the reason why I feel like I can't wrap my head around it, because there's no way this is going to happen the way they want it to happen.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Like, there's so many workarounds
Yeah.
to it, and
Madami.
but then would that make us like rebels? Would they crack down on
Will
us?
it be?
I think it's also, but more so than us, the consumers suffering. That's why there are statements made from mga filmmakers, mga
Yeah.
directors guild, because it really is going to impact probably the most is yung mga creatives and the
Yeah,
local
for sure.
film people. So that I think is really yun yung yun yung pinaglalaban nila in
Mm-hmm.
this case. So, I mean, there are so that we could go into a deep dive into this, but just some food for thought. How do you let your fans feel about it? Is the MTRCB something that should still be around? What are your thoughts on this bill? What are your thoughts on censorship of streaming service? If that includes, tanong lang, would that include Viva Max? Because I will tell you, my friend, I took a sneak peek into a Viva Max film last week. That shit is 80% softcore porn.
Yeah, basically.
So, and it is allowed right now. Now, I'm
Also,
not fighting for Viva Max. I'm just saying if this cracks down, I don't think the MTR, I think Viva Max will
would be
take a
abolished.
big hit.
Yeah.
You know what I
Also,
mean?
all of those, like, they're taking a moral stand now about
Mm,
all of these movies on Netflix. How
mm.
about all of the movies about kabit and third party that,
Yeah, yeah.
that
Totoo.
flew all the way to the
Yeah,
top of the
yeah.
list? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah,
parang,
yeah.
I get it. It's a movie. It's
It's
nobody has the right to, like,
relatable.
relatable
Yeah.
siya nga. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
saying that
yeah.
it shouldn't be out there, but saan yung parang hindi nag it doesn't make sense that
Mm.
was okay, but there are movies on Netflix that are not. I mean, if that's okay, anything else is supposed to be okay. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Apart from seeing somebody get murdered, like, out there and it's real or something like that. You know what I mean? Um.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
Mm.
gets ko
So
yun.
that's my TT for today, and there's so much we could discuss about that. I mean, I'm a big film guy, so I have
Akala mo sasabihin mo, I'm a big Viva Max guy.
oh yeah,
Pwede
dude,
naman. You
pwede
could
din,
enjoy Viva Max, di
dude.
ba?
If no
Di
more
natin
power to you.
alam.
You know
More
what? I feel
power,
like,
guys.
dude. I feel like I remember I seeing an infographic. It's one of the most subscribed platforms
I would
out
think
there.
so.
So I
Viva
mean,
Max. Subscribe si Ryan de
I'm
joke.
sure you I'm sure you watch that
I'm
shit for
sure.
the plot. I mean, some
I
people watch it for the
actually have
plot, bro.
never watched a Viva Max
Film.
Okay, first film na nakita ko sa vivamax.net.
Ah.
Deep Inside.
Oh, love that.
Ah,
Love that one.
weh.
Just kidding. I've never seen it.
May
uh
isa,
mm.
Pahupahan. Oh, isa
Oh.
pa, La Querida. Oh.
Whoa. Yung the one that I browsed through. Believe you can believe me or not. I just skimmed through it. It was called Violet.
Violet. Okay na, kahit aminin mo nanood ka.
Hindi ko pinanood
I'm
yung
sure there
buong
are Leche fans who are,
right.
watching.
Watching it for the plot.
I kind
Anyway,
of want to see like a
which one? What one?
trailer or something. Ano to? Explore.
Explore.
Right! Oh my
Ano?
God! May lumabas na ad. No!
Ad na? Ad ng
Ad ng
Viva Max?
Boy Love. Yeah.
Ah. Dude, we were just talking about that.
I don't... Okay, wait lang. Hindi Viva Max pala yun. I think it's like...
View. View
Hindi,
ba? Hindi.
iba. Ibang ad. It's like a pop-up ad.
Gets.
Wait lang. Pwede ko ba ito panoorin? Wait lang.
Ano ba yan?
Trailer,
Nang?
Salisihan. Oh my God!
Salisihan.
What the title? Salisihan.
Salisihan. Sino to?
Okay.
When a
See,
childless couple
ano.
lets a pregnant woman inside their house, temptation starts to shake their once peaceful life.
Oh,
Damn.
panalo.
Sino yung bida
Diba?
dito? Si Angelica?
Si Amabella De Leon.
Hindi ko kilala. Amabella De
Okay.
Leon, Chester Garcia, Zara Laksamana. Dami
That's
dami.
very, like, I feel like with the title, alam mo na kaagad kung ano yung salisihan. Alam mo na agad yung mangyayari.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could. I'm
Anyway.
sure you could make an educated guess
Yeah.
onto ano yung plot ng movie.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, what are you saying?
Okay,
Describe it to
anyway.
everyone right
Yeah, okay
now.
lang guys. I'm fine. Okay. Manonood kami ni Ryan. Na joke lang. Yeah, actually, alam mo ba? I think Ryan knows about like some actresses in.
Si Angelique Kang yung yung like one of the ones that kind of emerged as a Viva Max star that is now
Right.
on Batang Quiapo with Coco Martin.
Okay.
Uh,
Si AJ Raval pala
I don't,
is also
that,
on here.
familiar din yung name. I honestly don't know like all of them.
Yes.
Wait, tapos
Yeah.
nakita mo, followed by, it's
Followed
me,
by-
JC. Hindi, joke lang.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next statement.
Oh,
Ang-
wapaw. Okay.
Wow.
G, G,
Okay.
G, 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 G.
Oh my gosh. Without saying it, okay, first is it's about a person that actually you won't be able to guess it because it's too niche. It's like,
It's not in my wheelhouse, my
probably.
algorithm.
Also, this isn't about an artista or anything. It's not about
Grabe naman, I feel like baka may chance naman ako.
Oh, sige, fine. But it's about a person who went somewhere to kasi pag kinuwento ko na, you would
to
know
find
the plot.
themselves? Ano ba?
You would know the plot. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
give you 3 words and see if you can guess.
Oh,
guess
sige,
it,
sige.
okay? Endocrinologist, procedure,
Okay.
and doctor. So I'm not sure if you came across this post or it's a rant by somebody who's
Okay.
prominent in the Philippines.
I will have si Miko?
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! I didn't know about it then.
Okay. So before you sige, explain tell it I'll
Okay.
tell about it first and then I'll tell you why I know this person.
Okay, so the reason why I'm sharing this story is because healthcare in the Philippines, especially in the Philippines, has always been something I feel like is very confusing and unreachable for like a lot of people. Not just in money terms, okay? Because we know that in healthcare in the Philippines, you would have to shell out a bunch of your money. But it's also on how we understand the processes, what's happening with, like the procedures with what's the next step? Usually it's like you're running around like a headless chicken. You know what I mean? So, and I think that was the main issue of the story. So this was an experience of someone, his name is Miko Del Rosario.
Yeah.
So it's been shared 213 times already with like 1.2K likes. So I was thinking, you know what? Maybe like a small group of people are talking about this and may be affected by it. So basically, Miko Del Rosario, reportedly the head of ABS-CBN marketing.
That's how I know him.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, so he's the head of ABS-CBN marketing. He said that he wanted to get his father cleared for a procedure by an endocrinologist. Now, I'm not breaking any rules here. This is what he put on his very public post. So it's not like I got this information from,
It's not hearsay,
Yeah.
Right.
So he said that since their endocrinologist wasn't available, I hope I'm saying that word right. A friend of theirs was a doctor, recommended another doctor.
Okay.
So he mentioned the name of the doctor on his post. Now, we're not going to say it here for the sake of fairness.
Okay.
And also, we're really not sure if that's the name. Malay mo, alam mo, sisirain ko na isang tao that we're not sure about. So we want to be safe. So Miko Del Rosario, I'm just going to say Del Rosario. So Del Rosario entered the doctor's clinic with his dad, and they were greeted with a not so friendly demeanor. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I'll read the post. I read
Mm.
the what he wrote on his post word for word
Okay.
because he stated the words of the doctor, what the doctor used. So
Okay.
when they entered, the doctor said, bakit sa akin nyo to dinadala? Eh kay Dr. Blank po ito, which means the other
Okay.
doctor that they had.
Original doctor, yeah.
Yeah. Saan ho ba gagawin ang procedure? And then Del Rosario then said, ma'am, sa other hospital, but dito ko na po muna siya ipina-clear because Dr. Blank is
It's
not
unavailable.
available
Mhm.
right now. And then the doctor that they're talking to said, eh di doon nyo na lang ipagawa. They have many good endocrinologists. Dapat hindi na kayo dito nagpunta. And
Okay.
then Del Rosario says he was getting bewildered by the tone and the manner.
Mm.
And then he said, we were also considering the distance for the travel kasi po. And then the doctor said, doon yun na po ipagawa. And then basically turned them away
Mm.
in a not friendly and what do you call this? Like a rude manner.
Yeah.
So they were confused and then they left already the doctor's office. And the kicker here is the doctor's secretary actually chased them and asked for their fee.
PF.
Yeah, they asked for
Mm.
a payment. And in his post he said they refused to pay because he said, and I quote, "What am I paying for when I wasn't rendered proper service?" Which
True.
I get.
True.
Um, and I think that was the whole point of his interaction. I think he raised two very good points in this.
Mm.
But the second point is what I really want to focus on. So the first one,
Okay.
he said, at the very least, they expected to be treated with care and respect, which I honestly think isn't an unrealistic thing to expect in the doctor's office. Kasi hindi mo naman, di ba, hindi mo naman alam kung ano pinagdadaanan ng tao eh, di ba?
Yeah.
So you would think
And ang
that,
tagal mo naghihintay dun, ah.
yeah.
Most of the time, you're there
I
for
mean,
hours.
I think I don't expect for them to like, oh, bibigyan nila ako ng kape or like they
Yeah,
would,
yeah,
put down a red carpet in front of
uh,
me. No, it's more of just, you know,
respect.
respect and like
And
talk to me like a human being.
yeah, human decency, no?
um and you can even act in a nice way but still
Mm.
turn away somebody. You know what
I
I mean?
agree. I agree.
Diba? And then the next point, which again, like what I want to focus on, he said, um, I'm going to quote again his post because I think he worded it really nicely. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I suppose that people in the healthcare industry do not assume that ordinary people are not familiar with the protocols. If patients are in the wrong room or are not versed with the procedures, aren't professional practitioners supposedly tooled with informing customers or patients with proper messaging framework? And
Mm.
I agree because on some level there is like parang merong ano ba tawag mo dito, hierarchy when it comes to like doctors and medical professionals and the patients. Parang feeling nila, oh, porque mas madami akong alam. And I've seen this before. I've experienced it also na parang
Mm.
hindi mo to maiintindihan or they
Right.
don't explain things to you properly. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
Which honestly, I mean, it's not anybody's fault. It's more of just, I think, parang it's a problem that I see a lot. You know what I mean? Na parang dahil medyo broken yung healthcare system natin, we don't really have the right information sa sarili natin. Tayo, when we go to a hospital, saan ka ba talaga pupunta? Sino
Yeah.
kakausapin mo? You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yun lang.
I
What
get
what
it.
are your thoughts about it?
No, dude, at least on the in the terms of asking for the fee, dude, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Would
What for
you
what?
I know.
For
Would you have
what?
paid?
Huh?
Would you have paid?
No, fuck that, dude. For not if they didn't do it, you know what? Like, because I complain about the PF, even if I've gotten services rendered, because I feel like, what did I pay for? I know it sounds bad, and I know these doctors, they are trained and whatnot, but sometimes I'm like, dude, seriously, I was in there for 5 minutes, and you just told me something that I found on Google, to be honest, but I just wanted to make sure from in real life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I paid. It's not that crazy, not a crazy amount, but sometimes naisip ko din like, what am I paying for here?
Mhm.
Like you said, I don't need to be. I don't need to have the coffee or whatever served to me, but it feels nice when I find a healthcare professional that, even if I don't know if it's true or not, but if they act as if they are like genuinely there to help you,
Yeah.
I feel a lot better just with that alone. And then it kind of justifies yung price in a way.
Yeah.
What I don't
But
like is the how I feel if it feels like I'm just a number
mhm.
in the books. Just check it off. Okay, we got you what you need. Next. That's what it
Mhm.
feels like a lot of the time for me when I
I
go to
think also,
hospitals.
just to be fair,
Hmm.
okay. I wanted to say we are both not medical professionals,
Yeah,
obviously.
I
But I
understand.
feel like, just to be fair, I also kind of feel for medical professionals,
Of course, I watched The
because
Pit, bro. Those they
no,
go through a
and
lot.
not just that, but we all know that there's a strain, especially in hospitals, na medyo maunti yung staff,
Personnel,
pero
yeah.
marami yung patients. Kahit pa doctor
Mm.
yan, or
Mm.
nurse, or somebody in the x-ray or whatever,
Yeah.
you know that they feel a certain type of stress and pressure because ang dami
Gets
talagang
naman.
kailangan. And that's
Yeah.
also the reason why I don't know what to feel about this, because ang iniisip ko, what if they were just having such a stressful day?
Mm.
Kasi nga they work in healthcare and in the Philippines, na ang dami nilang kailangan gawin, and maybe that's really just how they go about their
Operate.
day. They
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
be efficient.
Right.
So para ako, I mean, I don't want to paint the doctor in a bad light.
Mm.
But also, wala lang, parang naisip ko lang, what if yun nga, because they're super stressed about it.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not
if the
sure.
service that they counted there was just saying you shouldn't have come here, that doesn't
Yeah.
feel fair to me.
True.
To me,
If,
that's me. That's how
yeah.
I see it. It doesn't feel fair. If they had done, if they had taken some sort of, I don't know, even if they put a thermometer in your mouth or something, at least dun ko feel okay, all right, okay, I get it. They checked
Yeah.
up on me. But
Yeah.
if it was based on that story na ang ginagawa ninyo dito,
Mm.
don't you go to the other place? No, you should just go to the other place. That doesn't feel like service
Yeah,
or
for
a
sure.
fee worth a fee. But like you said, they could have been having a bad day and whatnot. So it's tough,
Yeah,
man. And I mean,
kasi syempre,
mm,
I'm in a family. My parents are in the medical
medical
profession.
field, yeah, yeah.
And then Ryan is also in the medical field. He has worked in the Philippines as well. And even in a private hospital, they have so much pressure and strain
Mm,
in their like staffing and how they work.
mm,
Naisip ko nga
mm.
before knowing Ryan, I never knew that nurses in the Philippines would handle so many patients.
Ang dami, ang
And
dami.
ang dami. Tapos, what baffles me is they handle so many patients, and I'm sure because of their long hours, hindi ba it makes sense that if you handle so many patients, you have long hours, parang bumababa yung parang quality of care. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Tapos parang ako, I'm so baffled talaga with how they, like, how they work before, like, in the Philippines. Grabe. And parang medyo na-realize ko, maybe now I understand why a lot of nurses leave the Philippines
Mm.
because of that. Oh, as in, like, I'm not gonna speak in behalf of what Ryan experienced. Maybe one of these days we can ask him on the podcast,
Uy,
because
Tres
I'm sure.
Leches with
Let's
Orion
because I'm
Magfield.
sure, I'm sure we have Leche fans who are nurses and like
Yeah,
in the
I think
medical
so.
field,
I think
right?
so naman. Mm.
Anyway, we actually want to hear your stories in the medical
Mm.
profession. I kind of want to hear one,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Also,
yeah,
on a side note, I've said it before, yung mga bankers, bakit ang haba ng pila sa bangko lagi? I want to hear like what is going on behind the scenes. That's just a side note as
I
well.
feel like I have a conspiracy theory when it comes
What
to
else that?
the bank.
Ano
Obviously, there's
yun?
like a bunch of money in the bank, right?
Okay,
And I
okay.
feel like the reason why pinapatagal nila yung mga tao in the bank is because they want to kind of like assess who you are, if you're a scammer or like, you know what I mean? Na parang
Yeah.
feeling ko that's how they do it. And syempre, I
Maybe.
think maybe there's like a long process. We actually,
Yeah.
can you
Hmm.
guys tell us like behind the scenes of these common jobs or like the jobs that we usually interact with? Like we
Hmm.
want to know the behind the scenes of like if let's
Oh
say you
yeah.
work in a Jollibee. Okay,
Right.
let's say you work in a Jollibee. I want to know a secret like thing that you guys do. We're not gonna reveal who you are
Yeah.
or
Like
explain.
what's something that like people who don't work in your field won't understand until they worked in your
Exactly.
field.
Like,
Yeah.
explain to us something about your field. Like, kunwari,
Mm.
with us, di ba? Isn't it like, ako, I was so interested when I got to see how radio works, like, behind the
Mm.
scenes. Na
Mhm.
parang, may isang tao lang pala yung nagsasalita, and the one that handles all the music and the ads and everything.
Mm.
So we would be happy to kind of like know more about your job, what you do.
Mhm. There we go.
But yeah, anyway, that's just like again another tangent. But yeah, well, pow.
Well,
That's the
pal, all right.
end.
That is
Okay.
we're done with the TD. I don't know. Magagata sa question ba tayo? Or are we saving that for the next
Yeah.
time? Yeah,
No,
got us a
let's
question.
do Got us a question.
Got us a question. All right. So we asked you. Oh, by the way, moving forward, we're gonna post more on IG about if you want to be part of the podcast, you can join in and get us a question. And I know it's easy to send in yung mga text replies to us, but we also want to try something where we include some voice notes. So if you want to answer got us a question in the future with a voice note, we will rip the audio. You can send it in any way you want, either anonymous or not. I mean, I don't know if you want to use a voice changer or whatnot, but you can send it in, and then we'll try to include it in the podcast as well. We'll like insert it
Yes.
in there.
Yeah, and if you want to be anonymous,
Mm,
it's fine. We can
yeah,
like whatever.
yeah.
We can edit
We
it.
can
Okay.
modulate your voice too. The question we asked today, we got all text answers. What would you ask future you? Is the prompt that we asked you, our Leche fans. So if you could ask a question to your future self, what would it be? So let's read some of the answers and let's give our
Okay.
thoughts about it. I won't say any of the names because I don't know how anonymous they want it to be, but someone said, "Did you become the cool Tito?" And cool Tito means single for life.
Look,
Dude,
there's
how many cool Titos and Titas do you know, Rika G? Do you
in
know a
my
bunch?
family,
Mm,
I don't have a cool tito tita.
okay.
I mean, I think they're cool, but they're not single for life. So
Gets.
yeah, I actually don't know a lot of cool titos and titas. I feel
For me,
like
yung
we
cool
would be the
Titos and
generation.
yeah, the cool Titos and Titas for me, at least now in this day and age, isn't necessarily the ones that aren't single, but the ones with no kids. That's how
Yeah,
I see it.
yeah,
Because you know
dinks.
what I mean?
Double
Dinks. That's
income, no
right.
kids,
Double
guys.
income, no kids. Because dude, having kids is I mean not that you're not cool if you have kids,
Grabe.
but alam mo, you know when I think of cool titos, I'm thinking of the titos that they can travel anytime with that. They
Yeah,
can pack up their bags and leave and have no roots. I mean,
I
this is just a generalization, yeah. But
I
go ahead.
lied actually. I
Mm,
actually know a cool tito and tita that we met here in the UK. To be fair, they have kids, so their kids are
okay.
already in like college, like they're
Oh,
grown
they're
up.
old. Okay, okay.
But I think the just their demeanor and like what they like to do in their spare time, like they don't, and the one of the main reasons why I think they're really cool is
Mm,
because they don't act like a usual tito and tita that you meet. So I say that because they don't judge people. Like I remember we went on a dinner with them. Yung pinag-usapan namin were ideas, were thoughts and
mm,
beliefs. Hindi yung ibang tao. They never judge
right.
anybody. When we told them that, oh, we're getting married and we don't want to have kids yet, they never told us, oh, maganak na kayo ngayon. They were just like, oh yeah, nice,
Gets.
cool.
Nice.
It was so refreshing to experience. And they love going to concerts.
There we
And to the
go.
point, yeah, and to the point that they actually like leave their kids in the house stuff. Well, not like when they were children, but
In the
like
car, in the bed, in the hot
I'm
sun.
just gonna crack a window.
Let me go
But
watch Coldplay real quick, kids.
tapos, ang ganda pa nun kasi they frame all of the concert tickets that they go to. Like they
Oh,
have
that's
like big
nice.
frames filled with concert tickets. So
Galing.
one of the things, yun nga, for me, the coolest about them was they don't judge other people.
There
Honestly,
we
it was so
go.
refreshing. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
there we go.
Okay,
You know
next.
cool Tito life
Okay.
it's nice. Nice. Okay, let's go
Yeah.
next one. This one actually there's a name in here, so
Okay.
I'll read it because that's what they said. So the question that I'm guessing the name of our Leche fan is Abby would ask her future self or their future self rather is Abby, how are you? Did you finally know what you really want? Or are you still a mess? I hope not.
Oh my.
It is honestly I was thinking the same thing because not actually no, that's what I would ask myself too. I would like to know how well I have figured shit out in the future because that's
Mhm.
always the thing that I is always constantly on my mind, especially now in this point at this point in my life where I feel like I'm old enough. No, I feel like I should be old enough to know things, but I
Yeah.
still don't know them. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a product of arrested development or like
Like what, for
no.
example?
Okay, so the concept of arrested development in
Yeah.
the sense
No,
that
I mean, what
you
do you
stop
think
growing
you
up.
should know now that you don't?
I would like to know how to be financially secure. Like if what is my next steps for that? I would like to know about property tax. I don't know shit
Yeah.
about property,
I want to
right?
know that too.
Dude, property tax. Like in terms of saving for retirement, how do I invest in like what are the investments that yield over decades or whatever a consistent yield, and if I do find out whether through a Google search or not, what is the process of starting those things? In terms of also health, I'm getting older. What are the screenings that I need to screen for in the next few years? How at risk am I of blah blah blah? Like there's so many things that I do not know, and that is something that I because okay, and here's the thing. I don't know if you feel the same. I mean, I probably not because you, or maybe I feel the same as I did when I graduated
I
college. Like
agree.
in
I
terms of the
agree. I
knowledge
don't,
that I
yeah.
have, I feel like I have not learned that much from
Yeah.
20 to 30. I'm going to be 35 at the end of this year. So in the last 15 years, I could not write in a whole page any significant like things that I have learned that I probably already knew when I was 20.
Yeah.
And that's scary to me because you're supposed to, like they say, you're supposed to always consistently be learning and evolving. But I can't think of that much that has happened in the 15 years that would make me super different from what I am now versus when I was 20. That's how I feel. I'm sure there is. I mean, there are things that are different and that I've learned, but I feel like wow, I'm the same dude, dude. I'm the
Honestly,
same dude.
I actually don't have a lot of things to say about this because thinking about it overwhelms me. And what I've been trying to do recently is I've been focusing on what's in front of me because as you all know, like I'm in CBT therapy right now, which basically deals with your negative thoughts and like anxious thoughts and
Mm,
like basically like when you think about the future, I get anxious in an extreme way.
right.
So, and that's the reason why I never ever entertain. Well, right now I don't entertain those types of thoughts
gets
because
gets.
I will be in uh I'd be ruminating to the
Mm,
deepest depths of my core.
yeah,
So, gets ko naman yung sinasabi mo.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And, you're different with me because you can think
Hmm.
about those things and not spiral out of control.
Right.
Which is
Right.
great. And even
I mean, I try not
advertising.
to, but I feel like there
Yeah.
are times when it does kind of get, it goes down that path where
Yeah.
it becomes a little heavy, and I
Yeah.
gotta start not thinking about it. So
Mhm.
it is something to ponder for
Yeah,
both of
for
us in
sure.
a way. Okay, anything else we could G? I mean, we
Okay,
have a couple
another
more.
one. This person says, after another career reset, do you have joy and peace in your work now? Oh wow!
That's
And
what they would ask.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's what they would ask. And I
That's a
think
great
it's such
question.
a yeah, I think it's such a great question because I like it when people do that. You know what I mean? Like they're not just one thing their entire lives. It
Mm.
makes me have faith in humanity. Whenever I see somebody who was, oh, I used to be a doctor and now I'm a painter or something. It doesn't even have to be extreme.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love it when I hear about people's experiences like that because it makes me feel better that I you can actually do whatever and not fail. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, I like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good one. I mean, I agree in that sentiment where, because as somebody who shifted careers multiple
Yeah.
times, and in that, if I could, like, if I was back in time and then I asked myself, like, right now, did I have joy and peace in my work now? Like, so let's say 20-year-old me asked me that question right now. My answer would be yes. But
Okay.
20-year-old me would not know that. And I think that would be, that would be cool in that
Okay.
regard because I took the risks to, you know, change careers and stuff. So I like that. Maybe we can do one more in the
Yeah,
meantime.
one more.
Let's do. I know which one you want to do.
No, no, it's
No, no, not
actually no,
okay.
because there's this one person that says, "So your choices in women? Why?" I think this is a question that this person wants to ask them now.
Okay.
Now, not their
Now, not their
future.
future self. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, another one says, "What should I prepare myself around the following 5 years? In the following five
Mm.
years,
Mm.
um,
If
I
you would
know
ask yourself that,
in the
okay,
future,
ganito, since you're whatever your age now, if
yeah.
5 years ago, if they asked you that now, what would you say?
I know pandemic,
Pandemic, ano, tama. Face mask, hand
face mask.
sanitizer.
Um, actually, right now, what I would tell them to be, oh gosh, to not judge yourself so much.
Mm.
Don't judge yourself so much. Like, oh my gosh, yeah. But also, I would tell them, can you just enjoy what's happening right in front of you? Because you worry so much. You worry so much to the point that you forgot that you're actually in such an amazing place.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about
Sometimes
you?
I mean, not to steal what you just said, but I think that also speaks volumes about how I've been perceiving things lately. Sometimes I feel like I'm tough on myself because I'm not at a certain point or where I think I should be. But then I look at the other side of things, like, man, I have I really like my life. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes when you stop remembering how much you like your life and start thinking of what you don't have yet, that's when you kind of, you kind of lose track of that, and that's
Yeah.
something that you should try to not lose track of. So
Yeah.
I'll go with that similar answer as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, and I think that's a good ending point to
it
our
is.
almost
It
an hour and a
is.
half recording of the
My
podcast.
goodness. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Feel free to interact with us on our social media. So at Halala Show on Instagram, the Halala Show Leche Fam on Facebook. We also have some Spotify, like a comment section. Oh, someone was so mad at me
I
for
know.
disliking Game
I
of
know.
Thrones.
And I was
Oh,
so shocked
they
that
were
people
so mad at
no,
me,
I was so
man.
shocked that people like voted thumbs down.
Downvoted it. I mean, I appreciate the people defending me against that comment, but okay, I get it, man. I get it,
It's
man.
fine. You can say whatever you want, okay? We're not
You can.
snowflakes, so we're
Game of
fine.
Thrones trash, bro. I don't care.
You're like
No,
fueling the
no.
fire.
Right. It was, but anyway, yeah, let us know. I mean, just you can comment, if you have questions or if you want to, like, so another Leche fan did agree with how we felt about feeder,
Mhm.
quality TV, and like how Irwan is really exploring the food here in the
Yeah.
Philippines and highlighting it.
And
And
another, like two of our main call outs would be if you have a story about, something unique or interesting about your job, please send it in. It could be a PDF, an email, whatever you want. So please send it in because we want to know about like the secret stuff that happens in your job. If you want to be anonymous, we can do that as well.
yeah,
And then the second important one is when we post the Gatas a question on our Instagram, you can send in a voice note so that we can include you in the recording in
yeah,
our podcast as well. So send in
there
a
we go.
voice note. And if you want to be anonymous, we can do that as well. Okay.
There we
Those are
go.
two main call outs that we want you to be aware of.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That is it. Hit us up online, rate us 5 stars, and Rica G Extra song.
Do, 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 do,
Choo,
do, do,
choo,
do, do,
choo,
do,
choo,
do.
choo, choo. Hallelujah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.